Hey guys, MasakoX here. Now I've got something different for you today. It's been about 6 months since we last touched on the PAATA origin manga, and yeah, I know it took a while, but don't worry, I have good news. My artist, Kevin Beaver, has been working tirelessly since then along with my pals over at the Loading Crew to produce a story that would then result in the second chapter of the Sands of Sala-Bhim manga, aka the PAATA origin manga. We've retooled the story to not only include PAATA, but as well as every other character within the Sands of Sala-Bhim Pathfinder campaign. In the first video, link in the description and up top, we explored PAATA's origins as well as his ill-fated romance with Frita, a member of the Saiyan police who he grew to love. By the end of that chapter, PAATA had led himself into the world of bounty hunting and then went on a pilgrimage to find any way to cleanse himself of any angst and sadness, as well as getting an understanding about his future. Now today's chapter also concerns one of the origins of the other characters in the Sands of Sala-Bhim campaign, someone who can join PAATA on his quest, and then maybe more. Now before we continue, I just want to say thank you, Kevin, for the hard work that you put into this manga. The first chapter, I only asked for a few illustrations. The guy came to me with a whole bloody chapter. It was amazing. He deserved every single penny that I paid him. And if you wish to help him out on his artistic endeavors, then check out his Patreon, which is brand new. Link in the description and as well as on the screen. And if you wish to keep up to date with the story currently, you can check out the Loading Crew's channel as well as the link in the description and up top. They also stream frequently on Twitch and upload daily to the YouTube channel, so you are not going to miss out on any kind of content. It's not just this campaign, but also a Pokemon RPG with the guys over at Jello Apocalypse, as well as other members of Team 4 Star, so check that out for sure. Right, time to focus on the second character of the Sands of Sala-Bhim story. Enter Hanya. She is a bounty hunter played by Alex over at the Loading Crew. She is a sand elf and her story is quite tragic, involving loss, a lack of clarity, and a desire to become something greater than just a mediocre bounty hunter. Now let's begin. Chapter 2 of the Sands of Sala-Bhim, the Desert Flower. We start proceedings with Hanya out on a bounty and successfully finding her prey. She introduces herself as Hanya Shalsolve, a sand elf huntress who is going to break any fool's leg should they try and do anything funny. Understandably, this threat is taken quite seriously. Trust me, Hanya gets pretty scary later on in the story. You want a little sneak peek as to how scary? Well, Hanya scoots around like lightning and tosses the goon up in the air and slams him into the ground as if he were a rag doll. Some time and some beatings later, Hanya has dragged the beaten down bum back to her local haunt and is met by Bashir, the chief hunter of this district. Bashir has a massive crush on Hanya and is constantly pestering her to be his wife one day. He tries his luck by reciting a poem he had written especially for her while she was away. Now don't worry, it's not quite as cringe as you might think. I smile without reason, you are my desert flower. I want to sing, I know not where to go, you came from my dreams. I am in love, yes, that is true. This feeling is filled with awe, feeling so new. Please be my wife, you are my desert flower. Okay, maybe it's a little cringe. Hanya only puts up with all of this sickly sweet dialogue just so that Bashir can up her bounty ranking so she can get some better and more profitable jobs so she can eventually break away and become her own boss. Bashir is a little reluctant to do that, not only because he is worried about her safety, but also worried about anyone else that might come across Hanya and her great power. As we will explain later, Hanya's latent power can be quite uncontrollable. However, Hanya is beginning to lose patience with Bashir and insists that he up her damn ranking. Now for those of you wondering where the hell PAATA is right now, don't worry, here he comes! Now remember back at the end of chapter 1 that PAATA was talking to an oracle about his future? Well, we're gonna go back right there. The oracle informs PAATA that the Iron Squid, the big bads of this arc by the way, are entwined with his fate more than he could imagine. Being as cryptic as before, the oracle says that PAATA has to save the dragon, and only then will his inner turmoil be quelled. Okay. PAATA is naturally a little bored and recites the basics of his prophecy whilst getting it wrong. The oracle is annoyed by his flippancy and reminds the Saiyan the reason why he came here, to seek inner peace over the loss of his fiancée Frita. Once the oracle consumes the Kingdom Come drug that PAATA had provided her, her old visage is replaced with a much younger one, and her attitude shifts completely. She is more magically attuned than she was before. Her eyes change from blue to red, and she looks intently at PAATA. We then get a brief explanation about the two different types of sand elf that exist on Zeros. It reads, most sand elves have red hair and possess the fighting spirit to match their great tenacity. When angered, their eyes glow blue and can fly into a rage that would make even the mightiest of orcs tremble. Few are born with blue hair though, a magical mutation, and are often treated as freaks. They are sensitive to arcane arts and the effects of Kingdom Come. Their rage gives them red eyes as they tap into their latent magical abilities. TLDR, some are born as powerful warriors and others are born as powerful mages. As the Oracle continues her prophecy, other sand elves dependent on the drug can sense that it's being used to tell the future. A dangerous maneuver, as it could potentially drain a user of all their life force, or make things blow up. That, and I think they want to get some of that kingdom, if you know what I'm saying. PAATA, now with renewed interest, asks what he must do. But before he can get more information, the other elves ambush the party. They shout that mixing too much kingdom with magic will kill everyone in the vicinity. This could be a ploy, but before anyone can figure out what the hell is going on, the tavern explodes. Fortunately though, most of the tavern is left intact and no one is hurt. PAATA is trying to make light of the situation, whilst the Oracle isn't best pleased as all of her magic and tools are destroyed. She tells PAATA to leave and fix his own dang problems. Later on, PAATA is walking by a river next to the city of the Forbidden Jewel. He is lamenting the drug addict and says that will be the last time he takes advice from kooks like that. Oh, trust me, he's going to continue taking advice from kooks later on. Oh man, he even got kingdom all over his gear. Off page, he tries some of this out of curiosity. Luckily, in the game, I had to do a save roll on this, and the roll was good enough, so that means he didn't get addicted to the stuff, but he still felt all the effects and the drawbacks for this particular time, as well as the subsequent come down. For now, PAATA feels great. He changes into his new gi from the Xenoverse 2 gameplay and is filled with kingdom and vigor as he goes off to try and find that dragon. Meanwhile, Hanya and Bashir are still bickering over bounty ranks. Ultimately, Bashir relents and says that Hanya has been overkilling her jobs lately, so maybe she could go up a rank or two after all. Overjoyed by this, Hanya thanks Bashir and says that he is the best, only just because she got what she wanted, mind you. Bashir is smitten by this affection and is left stammering a response of, "Yeah, no problem," whilst trying to be cool about it. In return, Bashir gives Hanya a viola flower to wear in her hair. Right now, Hanya is game for that, but later she's feeling sickened by this, but internally, she tells herself to just take the compliment and roll with it. She was so wrapped up by the struggle that she forgot to get a picture of her next target and only has a couple of cryptic sentences to go off of. Hardly the best evidence going. However, she is interrupted by the sound of frantic splashing. It's PAATA swimming at breakneck speed up and down the river, hopped up on Kingdom. Now in the campaign, PAATA is well known for making dramatic entrances and just goofy puns and quips. So this is just the start of it, there's going to be more of this later. As well as loads of acrobatics. It's one of his specialties actually. At the moment, he's a plus 13 in it. After some swimming, PAATA shouts out that he loves to make a splash. Yeah, that's from the campaign too. He and Hanya talk shop for a little bit as well as touch on the jockstrap incident. Seriously, that whole incident transcends all kinds of media. PAATA tells Hanya that he is currently on the lookout to find a dragon or something before he notices a flower in Hanya's hair. He asks what it is. Hanya says, awkwardly, that it's a viola from Bashir that she grudgingly accepted in return for a higher bounty rank. Hanya then remembers her own job she has to do and says that she will help PAATA out with his own task if he, in return, help her out with her job. Soul artists are quite tough to take out alone, so she could use some extra muscle and backflips. PAATA is game to help out a friend, for sure. Hanya then is taken aback by how easy this was and restates that they do her job first before doing PAATA's cryptic bull. PAATA then reminds Hanya they have to find a dog of salt and a smoking traveller too, but first he's got to have a nap, and then, like Saiyans often do, have a big feast comprising of many Middle Eastern inspired delights. Hanya is nonplussed by this and states that she'll go and get a sword whilst he eats the city out of its reserves. Later on, PAATA is resting on the ground and is thinking over the prophecy some more and reiterates his commitment to Hanya for her mission too. He hopes that doing all this will help him get over Frita and cleanse his mind of any pain. He promises to do her proud and hopefully gain her forgiveness somehow, someday. And with that, chapter 2 ends. So we now have our second character as well as beginning the character gathering phase of this story. This chapter explored Hanya's origins and understandings as well as showing that she and PAATA have a mutual bond with bounty hunting and whatnot, as well as fighting goons. Believe me, this is going to stand them in good stead later on in the story, because there's a lot of fighting and a lot of bounty hunting. Not only that, but it will lead to something quite sweet. watch this space for that. Now the next chapter will hopefully come out a lot quicker than this one. It's only down to the fact that Kevin's been so busy with life and other work that it's just taken him a while to get an understanding about what to do for this chapter. He's kind of drifting between high school and work, so if you guys can spare $1 or $2 over on his Patreon, it means he can actually get a good concrete income so he can actually work on these comics a lot quicker and a lot more frequently. I am contributing to this Patreon personally, as well as paying him specifically for this comic and ongoing works. He deserves it. He's such an incredible artist, and I would hate to see his ability go to waste. Also, again, I would like to thank the loading crew for the incredible story that they have laid out over the past 18 months. It's been so fun, and one of my lifelong desires to play a Pathfinder game or some kind of Dungeons and Dragons variation. For the longest time, I didn't have friends nearby me that I could actually do this kind of stuff with, and it just left me kind of out of the loop. I longingly looked at people playing Pathfinder and Roll20 and all these kind of campaigns, and I wish that I could do that too. I managed to do that with a friend of mine with Era the Consortium. That's a really popular Pathfinder clone and variation. It's its own thing now, and it's at MCM, and it's great. But now that I can do this with one of my characters that I've had for years and years and years, with some of my friends from Team 4-Star, that's fantastic. I just have to thank Stuart and the loading crew for giving me that opportunity. And also, I have to thank you for watching the streams and the playthroughs, and actually watching the first chapter of this manga, because it showed that you guys like PAATA, and that's fantastic to hear. Thank you. I hope you found this a lot of fun, and that you'll tune in for the next chapter that will be coming out probably in the next couple of months, maybe even sooner. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, guys, and until the next one, be sure to like and subscribe. Until next time, catch you later.